Welcome in everybody to the TK Pod. My name is Tyler Kluver. I was once a Division I football player. I am now a podcaster, fitness coach, and CrossFit athlete, doing all of that as a husband and father of two. This show is an audio journal, a spot for me to vent or ramble about thoughts I have relating to fitness and health, my personal competitive aspirations, business, entrepreneurship, and more. I hope that each show can provide one small bit of value for you, the listener. Regardless, I'm glad you're here. Let's have a day. Let's go. What's up, everybody? We're back for a mini edition, a short edition, maybe not, of the TK Pod. This week, it's Tuesday, of which I'm recording this, the day after the scores for the team Wadapalooza 2026 qualifier were due. So all scores are in, all teams are on the leaderboard. And your boys, Team Gary, know if we don't know for sure, but we are on the board and we are there for everyone. I don't know what I'm trying to say. We're up there with everybody and we now know where we stand. And where we stand is, as of right now, we did not qualify. Now, interestingly enough, and I think I was only involved with Wadapalooza last year, and I know that last year, again, I think I explained this in the last episode when the workouts came out, and I was talking about how they looked for our team. The qualification system changed a little bit this year, where instead of you can sign up for a division, right? And that kind of places you in the quality of teams, quality of performance with other people similar to you. Last year, they took a mass leaderboard. It was one leaderboard where everybody did the same workouts, and they just broke that leaderboard into 3 divisions. If you were in the top 10 or 20, I think it was 20 last year, you got into the elite or the pro. If you were then 21st through 40th, you got into the RX. And if you were 41st through 60th, or it was something like that, I think it was 30 and 30 maybe. So top 10, 11th through 40th, 40th through 70th, or something like that. Then it was intermediate. So if you got top 100, you were going to qualify into a division. It was just how high were you going to be. This year, they split that intermediate off so that those interested in the intermediate division at the championship in March in Miami would be doing workouts that actually were not the same workouts. They were more intermediate level workouts as far as weights, reps, all those things. So now just the RX and the elite were on a leaderboard, and they went from what seemed like 50 or 60 spots down to 30. They're only taking the top 10 teams off this leaderboard, and those top 10 teams go to the pro elite division to compete with all of the pros who just get invited because they're well known and they compete at the games, like all of the games athletes who then join together and make their own teams. They don't have to do the qualifier. And then 11th through 29th on the leaderboard, which is a funny distinction. I don't know why it would be 11th through 29th. That's 19 teams. Doesn't make sense to just take 19, or why wouldn't you take 20? But right now the cut line is currently at the 29th team, and that 11 through 29 range would be the RX division, which is where I competed. Team Gary competed last year. Same 3 guys as this year. And we ended up getting 7th in that RX division in Miami. The boys, sorry, I buried the lead, finished on this leaderboard in 46th place. Not an unreal performance. Of all the teams who actually entered all their scores, There was only 75 teams who entered all scores. So we ended up in 46th, which is just a little bit below right in the middle of all those teams. Now, it's not bad. We beat 30 teams who spent the $60 to enter this thing and do the work and do the workouts and thought that they might have a chance of qualifying. We also got beat by 45 of those teams. One of which is our friends, the other 3 that we train with at some times, the guys who I train with at the gym, Jay, Ty, and Cole, who happened to end the weekend, the qualification process as of now in 30th place, the first team beneath the qualification line. So, video review to come, as well as you'd have to like, you're assuming that all of the 29 teams ahead of them accept their invite, which is a tall task. It realistically is not statistically probable. I think over half of the teams in that top 29 are from out of the country, which means they would have to spend thousands of dollars in flights and then hotels and travel expenses to get here and actually do it in March in Miami. So I'm pretty sure another spot will open up for the boys, and the gym DSM Performance will be represented in the RX division down in Miami for a third or fourth straight year. Um, and then we are 15 spots behind them, and it went well. I'm not gonna go over too many things in this. Nobody really cares. Uh, there were It was a good test, I'll say that. There were 3 tests specifically that we were just 1 or multiple of the 3 of us were not prepared for. Um, the first one being our worst workout, uh, which is number 2. We got 50th, I guess out of 75. Yeah, 50th out of 75, which was our worst finish, and it was the chipper one with a bunch of pulling, high volume, merry-go-round, 12-minute AMRAP, double unders, pull-ups, bar muscle ups, wall balls, and it's just a workout that none of us are built for. Um, we are 3 big boys. Our team probably average weight right now is 215 or 220, and a bunch 60 pull-ups, a bunch of double unders, um, bar muscle ups, just not the kind of workout in the off season for us right now. 2 of us uh, had kids this summer, haven't been training. The other is Reggie, who's 41 and has 7 kids of his own. Up against some of these other teams that just don't have those problems and have been training more in the off season, it just did not bode well for us. Similar finishes, to be honest, in workout 1 and 3, the first 3 workouts. I put up an okay score individually in workout 3, which was the max reps, but realistically, Isaac and Reggie probably needed another 15 to 20 reps each, and I could have redone it for another 10 reps, and then we would have been somewhat competitive, but we're pretty far off there. And then um, we just weren't quite strong enough to get 1 rep at at 315 on the clean and jerk workout, which would have vaulted us up pretty high. So a lot of just different spots and little things in those first 3 workouts that really made the difference in us not being up around the mid 30s with a chance to slip in on the qualifier, and we knew that. Last year we technically qualified 72nd on that big full leaderboard. So realistically, Team Gary actually had an almost 30 place improvement this year, if you want to count it that way. But it is interesting, the limited spots on a macro view of Wadapalooza, the competition. These off-season competitions really, really, really require a lot of with how much they put on and how much they put into the comp. They require a shitload of teams because each one of those teams pays an entry fee to go and participate. I'm fairly certain that last year it was $1,000. It was like 300. It was 900 or $1,000 for a team to register and compete in this thing. So 300 some bucks a person. Um, You would think that they would want to open up as many spots as possible and not cut spots. They're leaving thousands and thousands of dollars on the table if they're actually only gonna take 29 teams to these 2 divisions. So I have a feeling that they will announce between now and March, which is a 4 or 5-month gap. "Oh, we've opened 10 more spots for the elite division. We've opened 10 more spots for the RX division." And if they open 10 more spots for each team or for each division, that would actually put us in. The top 20 would qualify to the, um to the elite. Um or maybe another 5 spots or who knows, and then another 5 or 10 spots would get us just in on the RX division, and who knows, we might be going. And who knows how many people are not gonna accept their invite, and how many backfills will take place. That is how we made it last year, and we backfilled from the intermediate division into the RX division, and then out of a field of 40 teams, went and got 7th. So we would definitely excel. We definitely deserve to be with those teams down in Miami. We're just not really a qualifier team. And I've been over that before. But it was really fun. For me personally, it was a way to measure myself on the leaderboard since I have not done any off-season competitions this year after having baby number two. And so with the open at the end of February, basically we've got December 25th, January 25th, February 25th. It's basically in 3 months from right now. 90 days out. It gave me a chance to see myself on a leaderboard, do some competitive workouts, see where I stack up to people who are, still in tune with their fitness right now, and give me areas that I clearly need to work on. Even if I already knew those, it could reinforce some ideas of how I can inform my training over the next 3 months. And all of that happened. Like I got all of those positives out of this, as well as just a really, really good week of training because I haven't gone competition level intensity in a while. And I did multiple of these workouts twice. So I did 7 or 8 workouts at comp intensity over the last week, and I'm pretty beat up. Today is going to be a zone 2 plus skill work day, very low heart rate, no intervals, no heavy weights. We're gonna take it easy and try and rest for a little bit, and then hit it hard tomorrow again. But that's the update. I will, of course, if we get an email that we're gonna get a backfill invite or something like that, I'll update everyone. Again, the plan is still not to go, even if we were to qualify. This was again from the start a have fun kind of thing, and but I'll keep you updated on what that looks like and how that finalizes. And that is for now a wrap on Wadapalooza 2026 qualification. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.